So, I think I actually have something that's pretty extraordinary here. I think I actually might have stumbled upon a bridge between one of the most noticeable objects in our physical realm, the lunar moon, and one of the most widespread deceptions plagued upon humanity by chemtrails and the paranormal and very suspicious substance known as chemtrails. Yes, this is the chemtrail moon connection. Welcome. Having said that, thank you all for watching. This is the Strange Sky Project, and we're going to dive right in and examine this bridge between two of the most identifiable features in both the natural and paranormal realms. Here we go. As you see, I was able to get a pretty good focus on what's commonly known as an airplane, or in paranormal and conspiracy circles, commonly known as a chemplane, because it emits a chemtrail-like vapor, which is a cloud-like substance that many have found to contain chemicals, thereby getting the name chemtrail. Well, what makes this one unique is that I was able to capture this chemplane with its chemtrail in full, going across the entire sky. I'm talking about far east as one could, capture it, going all the way to the west. And in a matter of minutes, it traversed the entire sky, literally, from one horizon to the other, and remarkably went right in front of the moon. What are the odds of that? What would be the odds of it going right there in front of the moon? Naturally, this shocked me, and I just had to explore further. And I hope that you do come with me and explore this amazing coincidence, because whatever strange anomaly we're seeing here, it's definitely mysterious, and if I'm being honest, cannot be any type of coincidence, especially when spectacular phenomena has been captured many times over in many different situations like you're seeing here. Yeah, the evidence for this being something other than coincidence is too great. But to understand what this is and what possibly is going on, we have to take a good look at exactly what the different elements that are playing their role here are. For instance, the moon. If questioning the true nature of these luminary bodies in our sky is new to you, and this is your first rodeo at challenging the reality set forth by NASA, or the true rulers of this world, the puppet masters, the ones that sit behind everything and dictate this nonsense and absolute illusion that has been perpetrated against humanity for centuries. If this is new to you, I will state with 100% certainty that the standard definition of our reality and the supposed universe are untrue, and that the luminary in the sky, better known as the moon, is not a solitary object that anybody has ever stepped upon. It is a luminary disk, a light in the sky, a projection on our firmament dome. There's a lot of evidence to back this up, and I encourage you, if you are still under the illusion that the moon is something that is real and stationary and solid, I encourage you to do your research and homework, and you'll quickly find out that it's not the case. That brings us to the second part of the supernatural equation. To get to the explanation and get to the results that I found, we really need to take another look at these supposed planes in the sky. These things that we see in the sky emitting this vapor are commonly known as chemtrails or chemplanes, especially from those who are waking up and have their eyes open to at least challenge the status quo. Unfortunately, many people out there still see this white cloud-like vapor as a contrail. You should know by the word con in that what the real true nature of that is. The truth is, it's neither a contrail or a chemtrail. I know there's been a lot of studies out there that have people identifying this cloud-like vapor as containing chemicals such as barium and strontium and others, but really, once you take a good look, which anybody can do by the way, all you need is a camera with a zoom lens and look up there, and you'll see these are not planes. If you didn't know what a plane was and you saw this image that I'm showing on the screen, you'd be hard pressed to call that an airplane. You would have to call that some type of light-emitting, shape-shifting object with disappearing appendages and ball-like orbs, emitting some type of cloud-like vapor. So what is the truth here? What are we really looking at? Well, to put it simple and plain, from all my research and all of my observation and all of the tests that I've run, we're looking at something that's spiritual in nature, something that's supernatural and comes from another dimension, or outside of our normal status quo understanding of what it means to have structure and physical properties in this realm. Reality is a lot bigger and a lot more inclusive than I think any of us could have ever imagined. There are so many far out things out there that we are not yet accustomed to, that we've automatically dismissed and ignored for years. These supernatural and spiritual entities which traverse our skies and line our skies with these lines of spiritual cloud-like vapor. Yeah, you heard me right. Because in analyzing these spiritual entities and seeing that they are made up of orbs and they do shapeshift and they have otherworldly properties, we must take into account the actual spray and vapor that are emitted from them when they cross our skies. So I submit, if the object is spiritual, then you know what? The product is also spiritual as well. One of the best ways to define and understand the true nature of these spiritual beings, or for that matter, anything in our reality, I think is to look at that thing's actions. And by looking at their actions and the character of those actions, we can define who they are and what they are and what they are about. For instance, these spiritual beings traversing the sky are engaged in a program of deception. They're pretending to be planes, and in doing so, they are deceiving millions of people on a daily basis into thinking that this is geoengineering, weather modification, or most surprisingly, the water vapor byproduct of jet engines. That's not the case. They're engaged in a full-scale deceptive program, and if their modus operandi is deception, that means their presence is not helpful. No, instead it's hurtful. And if they're here to hurt us, they're, by definition, by me and many others who looked into this issue, demonic by nature. These are demons, folks. These are interdimensional, spiritual, supernatural demons traversing our skies. And the program that they're engaged in is demonic by nature. And demonic quite literally. I firmly believe that this cloud-like vapor is actually a form of transmitting and dispersing demonic energy. If you don't believe me, just take a harder look at the footage I present here. It's all right there for you to see. You just have to open up your eyes and actually take a look. Have you ever wondered why the vapor looks the way it does? Why it has the shape the way it does? Why it appears where it appears? And why there always is a ominous feeling in the air when those things are around? Let's be clear that those are actual spiritual beings being released too. You have a spiritual being that is capable of releasing this spiritual demonic energy across the population. And no doubt it is causing some harm. So by now I think we have a solid grasp on each component of this connection. First, the moon and what it truly is, and also what these supposed chemplanes and chemtrails truly are. So with that being said, let's take a look at this. What is the connection here between the moon and these demonic entities? Well, I got to playing around, going frame by frame of the moon, and I stumbled upon this amazing conclusion. First of all, you can clearly see there's nothing behind there in the supposed shadow that's the moon is, supposedly the darkest part of the moon that's in darkness. There is no moon there. And for the most part, you can see through the moon. It almost looks like the same kind of cloud-like vapor from the chemtrails is actually in the actual structure of the moon. Take a good look here. No wonder you're seeing faces in there. No wonder you're seeing this transparent cloud-like structure inside of there. And as you can see clearly when doing this frame-by-frame process, I think I've caught that cloud-like chemtrail demonic energy inside of the moon, moving and operating independently of the otherwise solitary stationary structure. This is huge. The moon is now, in my opinion, completely open to a whole new interpretation. Look at that. Look at the parts of the moon that are independently moving, and you can see how it's directly connected to the chemtrail. If it's true that the moon is a vessel or a place where this demonic energy can rest, and or it's the demonic energy is creating the moon or a part of it, think about the implications here. Think about the amazing coincidence that it might be that for thousands of years the moon is always associated with something dark. The moon is always associated with lunacy and lunatics and craziness and mad, uncontrollable id nature of human. Well, I guess what I'm proposing here is that that's no coincidence at all. That the moon has a direct connection to the spiritual or demonic world. Almost so much so that the moon inhabits these demonic spiritual entities. That the moon is possibly a, I don't know, station or a portal for them. And you know what? After making that connection, this footage here makes a lot more sense. Because look, this was footage I took about a year or so ago and incorporated in a video I did called "This Moon Is Not the Moon." Yeah, in that video, the anomalies that I was presented with when I filmed the moon were so out there and so confusing that I just pretty much laid it out to everybody for them to see, and you know, proposed the idea that these are maybe demonic entities that are creating the moon. Well, maybe it's more so that these entities here that you can see clearly right there are part of the moon, and that the moon is, as I mentioned, just a projection, and that they are using this projection for something else. There's so much about this world we do not know, but I think what that just showed is that we can at least say we know that there is a connection there between chemtrails and the moon, that what we've been told is not the truth, and that we really have to persevere and keep pushing and pushing to find the answers, because it all matters. It matters where our place is in this world, it matters where our reality is, and it matters what we do with it. I want to thank you guys for watching. May God bless and protect all of you and your families. And please subscribe and share this video, and much love. Thank you guys for watching.